Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on MTV Sports. I'm Nadim Majid.
And I'm Krishna Panadaratna. First a look at the headlines.
In your headlines this evening, the US says the impeachment process against Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike undermines the international reputation of Sri Lanka. Leader of the New Hello Romeo speaks on toppling the government. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Free Lawyers Association says that the new Chief Justice has safeguarded the reputation of the country. Also, the World Bank forecasts that the country will achieve an economic growth rate of 6.8% in 2013. A flood-battered family of 8 adapts to life in a tent.
It is no secret that a number of people are still housed at temporary shelters following the recent flooding that left thousands displaced. While inquiring into the plight of these people, News First came across the story of a family who lost everything as a result of the bad weather.
A father's anguish. Despair and despondency have driven Tilakaratne, a father of 6, to utter these words that no father anywhere in the world should ever have to speak. Gushing floodwaters have brought Tilakaratne, his wife and their 6 children to this pass. Their home is now an unrecognizable ruin after it was pounded by the merciless waters of the Amban Ganga. Tilakaratne and his family, who since then have been sustaining themselves through the generosity of their relatives, only have this tent provided by the government to call home. Although the tent is relatively safe during the day, at night the family must keep a constant watch to keep an eye on intruding wild elephants. As a result, Tilakaratne and his family are separated at night as they await the first rays of sunshine each day in the safety of their relatives' homes. With his daughter reaching puberty recently, Tilakaratne now has more woes on his plate. Unable to perform even the traditional rituals for her, Tilakaratne now relies on work as a hired labourer to feed the hungry stomachs in his home. Tilakaratne has been unable to even slightly lift his head and reconstruct his home because he is yet to receive the compensation paid to other families who lost their homes to the floods. The authorities say that he has not received this compensation as the family was residing on prohibited property. We didn't get a cent. They are saying that this is a prohibited zone and they cannot grant me any relief. In a natural disaster that affected more than 400,000 people and left many dead, stories similar to Tilakaratne's will only surface with time. Welcome back to the news. The US State Department says that the impeachment process against Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike undermines the international reputation of Sri Lanka. A US State Department spokesperson, Victoria Nuland, made this statement during yesterday's daily press briefing.
We had made clear throughout this impeachment that we were concerned about what it said about the democratic process, that we were concerned about the perception of reprisals against somebody for independent thinking and action. So, you know, those concerns remain with regard to the quality of Sri Lankan democracy. This entire issue also serves to undermine the international reputation of Sri Lanka as it pertains to investment decisions that foreign companies might make. So, you know, there is usually a cost to this kind of thing in terms of their ability to attract foreign investment.
The leader of the New Left Front, Dr. Vikramabahu Karunaratne, says that suspicions have arisen whether the impeachment motion was brought with the knowledge of the United States and the Indian government. He pointed out that the impeachment motion bear the hallmarks of capitalist nations. Dr. Vikramabahu says that the capitalist nations are issuing releases condemning the removal of the Chief Justice to press the government to clear itself from the charges levelled.
Today, what happened to Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike is similar to what happened to Ahlepula Kumarihami. Sri Vikramarajasinghe tortured Ahlepula Kumarihami and killed her child in front of her eyes. We are aware of what happened to Madhu Bandara as well.
ශ්‍රියානි බණ්ඩාරනායක මැතිණියෝ තාම වලපල්ලට ඇරියේ නැහැ. නමුත්
but they leveled false allegations against her and threw her out of office. These actions go to show that the government, similar to Rajasinghe, is opening the door for international forces to interfere in issues concerning Sri Lanka.
අද කළා තියෙන බිහිසුණු අපරාධය තුලින් ලෝකේ පුරාම මේක ඇතුළට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
They have opened doors for foreign conspirators to enter the country.
අරුවන්ට මේ රට කඩා පැනීමට ඉඩක් මේගොල්ලෝ හදලා තියෙනවා.
Meanwhile, the International Commission of Jurists has condemned the appointment of former Attorney General Mohan Piris as the new Chief Justice.
Issuing a release, the International Commission of Jurists notes that during his tenure as the Attorney General, Mohan Piris disregarded international laws and standards. According to Sam Zarifi, the Asia-Pacific Regional Director of the ICJ, the appointment adds serious insult to the gross injury already inflicted on Sri Lanka's long-standing judiciary. The ICJ condemns the appointment and calls on the Sri Lankan government to reinstate Chief Justice Shirani Bandaranaike. It notes that if there are grounds for questioning the Chief Justice's actions, they should be pursued following due process and a proper impeachment process.
Issuing a media release, the United Bhikkhu Front says the judiciary, which is one of the three guardstones of the country, has been destroyed by its rulers. The United Bhikkhu Front notes that the protection of democracy in the country is dependent on the three guardstones, which are the executive, legislature and the judiciary. The United Bhikkhu Front says that the manner in which the impeachment motion was proposed and the disregard shown to the views expressed by the chief prelates of the three main sects and other religious leaders regarding the examination of the impeachment motion has led to strong condemnation from the international community. The front says that it has become clear to all that the government acted in an ad hoc and unilateral manner. The statement read that as a result there are now two chief justices in the country, the legitimate chief justice and the one appointed through political power. The United Bhikkhu Front says that this ad hoc action will directly influence the rule of law and the respect to the law of the country.
On a related note, several political party representatives voiced their views during a media briefing held in Colombo today.
ශ්‍රියානි බණ්ඩාරනායක මහත්මිය ගෙදරින් පිටත් වෙලා යනකොට එක දෙයක් කියනවා සුභා ධර්මයේ මේ වලට උත්තර දෙයි කියලා.
When Shirani Bandaranaike left her official residence, she said that nature will provide a response. If you look at the history of the country since 1948, the majority of the destruction was caused during the tenure of this government. This government is not democratic.
ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී කියලා ආපු ආණ්ඩුව අද ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදියක් නැහැ. පාතාලේ ආණ්ඩුවක් බවට පත් වෙලා තිනවා. The executive presidency must be abolished and it must have a system where all the peoples of the country share power and are confident and feel that they are citizens of this country, equal citizens of this country. Obviously, the speaker, having gone through a traumatic 2 or 3 weeks or 2 months, realizes that this system which provided for this impeachment is not good. That must be changed. So we call on the government to take steps to immediately abolish this constitution and bring in a constitution where we can all unite through power sharing so that people at the lowest level can actually share power and exercise that power.
The Sri Lanka Free Lawyers Association says that the new Chief Justice has protected the reputation of the country in the international arena.
මනා පෞරුෂයකින් යුතු නීතියේ හැම ශේෂයක් ගැනම හසල දැනුමකින් යුතු එවැගේම කරුණාවන්ත
A charismatic personality has been appointed as the new Chief Justice. He possesses extensive knowledge in many fields. He is someone who has protected the reputation of the country in the international arena, and I take this opportunity to congratulate him. I also need to express gratitude to Shirani Bandaranaike for the services she rendered to the judiciary over the past 16 years.
ඒ වගේම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අවුරුදු 16ක් තිස්සේ චිනානි බණ්ඩාරනායක මහත්මිය විසින් අධිකරණ ශේෂ්ත්‍රයට කරන ලද මෙහෙවර සම්බන්ධයෙන් ප්‍රශංසා කිරීමේ යුතුයකමක් ගැන මා ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිනවා.
නීති සංගමය යෝජනා කරා නීතිඥවරු හැටියට වැඩ වරන්. අපි එදත් කිව්වා. ඒ පසුගිය 10 වෙනිදා සහ 11 වෙනිදා
The Bar Association requested lawyers to refrain from judicial activities. All the lawyers who were expressing their dissent engaged in judicial activities by deploying their juniors on the 10th and 11th. Who is behind this conspiracy? We constantly attempted to reveal this, and now it is clear to the public as to who is behind all this. An organization calling themselves the New Lawyers Collective were behind this. I don't know what sort of collective this is. Is it a collective of NGOs, a collective of tigers, or a collective of foreigners?
NGO එකමුතුවද කොටි එකමුතුවද පරදේශාකාරක එකමුතුවද මන්?
Time now for the newspaper cartoon of the day.
A group of fishmongers staged demonstration in the Galle town today demanding that illegal fish stalls be removed.
This demonstration was held opposite the Galle fish market. Black flags were raised at some of the stalls at the market. The demonstrators claim that while they pay taxes to the municipal council and engage in their business, some illegal traders are evading these taxes and are undermining legal fishmongers by selling produce at a lower price. They demand that these illegal stalls be removed.
We will pay taxes if they remove the illegal traders.
Meanwhile, illegal fishmongers say that if their livelihood of several years is taken away, they would be left despondent.
We have been engaging in business at this location for 15 years. The municipal council's decision to implement this will inconvenience many.
News First made inquiries from the mayor of Galle, Methsiri Silva, regarding this matter.
The proposal to remove illegal traders was passed unanimously on 6 occasions. If the police promise to support me and assist me to remove these traders, I will take action immediately. I will ensure that all illegal trading activities come to a standstill.
Meanwhile, the leader of the Nawasihalorumaya, Sarat Manamendra, says that if he was the opposition leader, he would topple the government within 90 days.
What happened to Shirani Bandaranayake is similar to what happened to Rizana in Saudi Arabia and Nirbhita in India. There is no one beside her. Everyone left her. If I was appointed the opposition leader, I would topple the government in 90 days or I would go home. Even if I had the post of UNP leader, I would know how to topple the government.